1008 Sports, we're in the building, man. And I'm about to give y'all another edition of the Top 5. This show is going to be about the 11 and 12-year-old division. I didn't catch y'all last week because I was busy doing some other things, trying to get ready for this award show. And before I get into the Top 5, let me talk about the award show for one quick minute. Our award show is scheduled for Tuesday, November 27th at 7 o'clock at Landry Walker Auditorium. We asked earlier that each coach make a contribution to the fund where we can have a kid from every team. Try to have a kid from at least every team represented. Because last year we tried to go with every park represented, but this year we was trying to make it bigger and better. But I did reach out to coaches to see who was going to actually be willing partners with me to help make this thing work. So I did ask each coach for a small contribution, and out of 69 coaches that perform in our league, only 45 looked out. So that means they got like another 24, 25 coaches that didn't look out. So I'm putting my last call out. If y'all want y'all boys to be on the first barrel of nominations going out, because we're only going to max out at 120 kids. We maxing out at 120. No special favors going out. So we're going to go with the coaches' nominees, who the coaches pick from their respective team to make it to this award show. And that's how we're going to actually put the award show nomination forms together. So if I came at you earlier and you made a contribution to what we're doing, your players will get nomination forms from your players. For your players, if you didn't look out or you didn't get back with me, you probably won't be getting your nomination until probably after the championship. So I just wanted to put that out there that November 27th, the third annual 1008 Youth Sports Awards will be going on. Landry Walker Auditorium, top 120 kids in the city. And that's how we rocking, man. Holla back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's dive into this top 5. Making our list. Been out the top 5 for a couple weeks. We're making a return to the top 5. One of my favorite teams in the whole city. Led by Nah'Mon Landry, Coach Will, Coach BJ, and the McHugh Eagles. When I think about this McHugh team, I think they're going to be coming to playoff form. Have a last game of the year matchup against Willie Hall, which I see where that team really stands at that point. But when I think about McHugh, I think about a fast, feisty bunch. Up front, they led by BJ Foe. You know what I mean? The Bernard Jones IV. He don't say much. He's like a quiet assassin. Like, he's really quiet, but if you pay attention, he's blocking. He's clogging up holes on the middle on the defensive side of the ball. So BJ Foe is really making some noise for that McHugh team. But then I think about Norman coming back. Then I think about Amani coming back from injury. I think about Nah'Mon carrying the team right now while Fred playing on the offensive and the defensive line. So this McHugh team, as fast and as small as they are, I think they'll be the team that might make a whole lot of noise moving forward while this year ending on and moving forward into the playoffs. So the number 5 team on the list is the McHugh Eagles. Let's move along to the number 4 team on our list. Coming from Uptown, quarterback U, the Lions Center Lions. Led by Manchild, Coach Sammy, Coach Major, and Coach Brad. From what I hear about this team, they play the most disciplined football of any team in the league. They're always going to be in position, even though they're a young team. And that's what I like about them. They're a young team, but coaches tell me that this team, they're always in position to make plays on the defensive side of the ball. So Lions Center with that young core of 11-year-olds with Chicken Wing and Chase the Truth and Young Sammy, moving forward, I said that about McHugh too, but Lions Center also move because they're young. So moving forward, when I think about this Lions Center teams and the team that they might have to face in the playoffs from the east side, I don't think it's going to be that easy for the people that saying that the east is a whole lot more dominant than the west. Lions Center is going to be that team, but I think have something to prove, being Division II champion of a year ago, to prove that, yeah, we belong here with the big boys. So the Lions Center Lions at number 4. Moving along to number 3. Now, this team is quickly becoming one of my favorites. I'm not just saying that because of Tim Smooth. I'm not just saying that because of the big deal Dylan. I'm not just saying that because of the Magic Man. I'm saying that because this team just keep coming out and finding a way to pull out wins. They're winning. And Coach B have this group together where they know they win. And their confidence level right now as a group is so strong and so high that they're going to be dangerous in the playoffs. They never could get past the hump of the number 3 or the number 2 or the number 1 seed when it came to talk about other teams. But Willie Hall has always been right there. And I'm talking to coaches around the city about each of these other teams. And what Willie Hall have that nobody's not really paying attention to is playmakers. And I'm not just talking about Tim Smooth and Magic. See, sometimes we forget about Lil Chad back there. We forget about that Willie Hall got a lot of players that came through this system from 5 and 6 that's all still playing together. So they got playmakers and chemistry. And I think we tend to forget that about Willie Hall because they didn't make much noise last year at this age group. But the Willie Hall Panthers, ooh, this playoff's going to be good with these dudes moving forward. And then you got to remember this. Willie Hall got to play Puncher Train Wednesday night. So at that game is going to tell how far or how good Willie Hall really is. But to me, they're a top of the line team. And they make the 11-12-year-old bracket really fun again to watch Willie Hall at 6-0 move to number 3 in his top 5 power ranking. The number 2 team, you already know, the Bullets, man. The Bullets of Norman State. And they played Harrell last week and they bullied Harrell. As bad as that might sound, 30-0 manhandling of Harrell. I think Norman going into this league with something to prove. I think the goal for Norman is the championship. And I'm going to say it here again. In my opinion, Norman State is my favorite to win the championship. Matthias Lee is that guy. Baby T showing spurts of being the old Baby T again. Like, he cutting up again. Like, I missed that from Baby T for a while. But Baby T is back to being Baby T. And then, like I said, you got Christ and you got 6'2". Who's blocking them dudes? Nobody. Who them dudes blocking? Everybody. And if you let Baby T and Matthias or Key, one of them boys, get to the edge, it's probably going to be over for you. But a slept-on piece of that team, Lil Jethro. We ain't talk about him all year. But on that DN, Jethro Moses III, he's handling his business. So when Norman called themselves the Bullets, by looking at what they did this year, by bullying 2 top 5 teams when they played them, Lions Center week they played them, and Harrell last week, put your money on Norman for the championship, man. And that's how it go. Let's move forward to our number 1 team in the city, Public Enemy number 1, led by Coach Ray, Coach Glenn, Coach Mo, the Pontchartrain Patriots. And when I talk about this team, what can you say? Sanchez, 2.5. And he's putting out a strong year to be the 12-year-old MVP this year. He's having a year like that. And then you add the playmakers around him, the Christian brothers, that's Doyle and Pritchard. Then you got Lil D doing this thing over there too. But up front, people don't mention the big B's much anymore, but collectively that group is really starting to gain a quiet confidence about themselves. They started what they call the Swole Patrol up there at Pontchartrain. The Swole Patrol. They starting to gain a confidence about themselves that I think gonna make Pontchartrain a dangerous team. And what I think was gonna make Pontchartrain even more dangerous is they putting a whole lot of pressure on themselves. They letting the world know that they 7-0, they number 1. They letting the world know that they're coming for everybody. They took care of business with Samson, and I thought Samson could have played a much better game against them, but they took care of their business with Samson. Now, Willie Hall coming up, and that's going to tell, is this team really what we think they are? Public Enemy number 1. Pontchartrain Patriots are number 1 team in the 11-12-year-old top 5 division. Let's just run through them again to knock it out the way. At number 5, we got the McHugh Eagles. At number 4, we got the Lions Center Lions. At number 3, we got the Willie Hall Panthers. At number 2, we have the Norman Wildcats. And the number 1 team in the 11-12 division, the Pontchartrain Patriots. Public Enemy number 1. That's how we rocking, man. 1008 TVU Sports. We're in the building, man. Holla back. Yeah.